If I ever seen a dollhouse that was made for a man, this is it.
This is your house, brother.
Can you explain what this is and why it's so important to somebody who's just starting out or a seasoned, not just a public adjuster, but just an adjuster in general?
Exactly. Yeah, this is good for, like you said, anybody from year 20 all the way from you haven't even started yet. Just to get you an idea of what's not just on the exterior, what's behind these levels as well. If you'll come around here, we're not completely finished with it just yet, but as you can see the idea, you're going to be able to see everything in between the walls, in the ceilings, everywhere in between that most adjusters miss daily.
So I noticed that there are two different types of siding on the front and on the side. Do you treat both of those the same?
So that's exactly why we put these on here. Those are actually two separate line items, right? You can't just add for one piece of siding that's going to cover the entire house. You're going to have to account for each type of siding that's on that house. And this is not, this is not a typical house. This is something that we designed specifically for this class so that we can show you these things and that you have a baseline understanding of most residential properties.
When I go to a house and I see different shades of painting, can I just paint one side without considering all of the different trim colors?
It's a great question too. So that's why we did this as well. In most houses, the trim could be different than the actual color of the siding. That's why we did this. In Xactimate, that's a separate line item. It's not going to be just throwing paint on siding. It's going to be paint and coat, two paints aside or two different types of color on the trim and the siding as well.
Okay, and why is it so important that y'all have it to where you can see through the walls down to the studs?
Right, so that goes back to, if you've never stepped foot on a construction site before, you're going to be able to put your eyes in between the walls like you never had before. So you're not going to be guessing what's behind there. You're going to be able to come into the interior and actually see all the components once it's all finished out, how to get to those components and not just keep guessing at how to put it back together in Xactimate.
And this is a very unique door. I can just go to Xactimate and click the door line item and that would be sufficient?
So this door is a cow spoon special here. This is an absolute custom door. As you can tell, this is a custom house, so we had to get this custom made. If you're gonna be putting this in your Xactimate report, you can't just account for a standard exterior door. What you're gonna have to do is actually go into a separate line item and account for a custom door. And again, that's something that we're going to teach you. We're going to teach you how to do custom line items. We're going to teach you how to do F1, F9 notes to put in your Xactimate line items and so much more. It goes more in depth than just the level 1 and level 2 programming. This is going to give you a really good baseline to put a home back together.
And I know that y'all are going to be adding some gypsum board in here or drywall for the uninformed. How many line items approximately would you say that this structure is going to have when it's all said and done?
I haven't tallied them up myself just yet, but I would imagine there's anywhere from 150 to 200 plus line items just on this tiny home that you could call it.
Okay. And so when I come to your Xactimate training, it sounds like I'm not just going to be sitting at a desk.
Right.
I'm actually going to be able to put hands and tangibly touch what I'm learning.
That's exactly right. You're not going to be able to learn how to actually put a house back together through level 1 and level 2 training, and that's exactly why we built this house right here, so that you can see everything. You can put your eyes on it, you can put your hands on it, and you can get knowledge from anybody in the class who could be a builder, who could be a contractor, or other IAs as well, other PAs, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so all right, so I can just show up, no tools, and to the site and be ready? Or is there a special toolkit that I should have?
It's a great question. You follow me over here. This is what I keep in my truck daily. It's just the basic items that I would need, and I would like to see what you guys use as well in your toolkits. But this is just what I use daily here. Starting off first, we got our handy dandy ladder. That's going to get us everywhere we need to go. And this is just a little giant ladder. I believe it's a 14-foot ladder that can extend up multiple different ways. It's very versatile and easy to fit in the back of your truck. The next thing I have obviously is some cougar paws. If you've been on a roof, you know why we use cougar paws. They give you a nice little grip on the shingles and make sure you don't slip. Going on with this, I have this tool belt. Any type of tool belt will work. You don't exactly need this one, but I have a just 35-foot measuring tape in there. That's really comes in handy because we don't use any tools to sketch out here. We do everything by pen and paper. I'll take my little portfolio out here. This is made by my brother here, and this is what we use. This is what we keep all of our files in, and at the end of my inspection, I'll have everything sketched out, and we do everything by hand. All right, so that comes in handy. We also have a moisture meter here. It's just a standard moisture meter that you have. All of my chalk I keep as well in a little broken container. And then the most versatile tool that you'll need for an interior inspection is a laser measurer right here. That is handy dandy when you are inside a house, so that you don't have to pull out this tape measure every square inch of it. You can just point that laser measure and get the job done that way.
Okay, and when you take notes, can I just remember the notes and write them down at any time in the future?
So I'll give you an example of what I do on this. Let's just scope this house real quick. It's very simple. We made it simple for a reason, so that anybody can go out. Whenever I'm scoping a house, I'm looking at it from a bird's eye view, and this is how I'm gonna get my measurements, right? So this house is just a square, and then there's the ridge right there. So now we have an overall view of this house. Would you say so?
Yes.
Okay, so for the roof, I would climb up on the roof. I would see what type of shingles on it or on top of it. We don't have ours finished up yet, but I'll just have roof, and then I'll put like a 30-year shingle, and then I'll have my decking on there, and I'll continue all my notes while I'm walking around the exterior, and I'll do the exact same thing for the interior as well.
Okay, all right. And let's say if I'm the carrier adjuster is with me, or even if I am the carrier adjuster, how soon should I write this down?
So what we're doing here, this is just going to give you an idea of what you should put into Xactimate, right? Mm-hmm. This is your first inspection on the property. You're understanding the overall dimensions of it, and this is going to be the sketch that you're putting back into the computer. Mm-hmm. We're just not using any of the fancy the Matterport cameras or the DocuSketch system that we use. We're teaching you it this way so that if you are a brand new PA, you don't have to spend all that extra money to go and get that software. You know exactly how to do it with just your pen and paper.
Okay, and write it down on site. And
right.
All windows are the same?
Come on, man. You think all windows are the same?
I don't know.
No, that is not true. All windows are not the same here, and that's exactly why we put another window in there as well. Taking out a window is not just taking out a window. You have to add each component that goes along with it to get to that window, and then put everything back, and then paint everything back as well.
And this looks like a relatively low pitch and or slope, depending on who you are. Does the slope not matter?
The slope always matters. You got to have the right slope, because that's going to adjust for the square footage of the roof, and then the overall price of that roof as well.
Okay. And when I'm looking at this siding, it's just the front material, or is there something behind it that I need to be considerate of as well? Yeah,
there's always going to be something behind it. You also have a vapor barrier that's in between the exterior and the sheathing of the actual home. What that does, it just keeps that moisture out between the siding and your actual house.
Is there a question about your toolkit or this mock home that I should have asked you that I didn't?
So we'll start with the dates of our next camp. The dates of the next camp is June 15th through 19th. It is Monday through Friday. The first half of the week we'll do our Xactimate certifications, level 1 and level 2. The second half of that week we'll step outside, away from the computers, and we'll be doing those live on-site inspections, not just on this house, but potentially another building as well.
Where do I go to sign up?
So you go to publicadjusterbootcamp.com or find us on Facebook, however you can find the means to do so.
Thank you, Tyson.